So tonight we're going to finish up drill project one. Last class we created the drill path or tool path where we drill through the part 16 times. And after each tool path, we're going to create what I refer to as a stock model. And I don't see the stock model in my toolpath manager, so that'll be the next thing that I do. A lot of the times, to get an idea of where I left off, I will run the entire toolpath group inside of Verify. So to do that, I'll select the first operation toolpath group. You'll see green checks appear next to everything within it. Now, it doesn't matter if a stock model has a green check next to it, it's not going to appear in Verify. So I selected the first operation toolpath group. I'll select the Verify icon. It'll take a moment for Verify to open up. It opens up another window. All right, so I'm inside of Verify. One thing I want to take advantage of is I want to take advantage of stop condition collision. I've got a check next to it indicating that it's on. I could increase the precision a little bit and I could speed it up. I'll select play. And it went kind of quick. I'm not seeing any collisions, so I'm happy with what I see. One thing I would like to do is I'd like to create a collision just so you guys can see what it looks like. Don't do this. Just let me make a quick change and then I'll come back to Verify. So if I exit Verify, actually I'll minimize it. And if I go into the parameters for the second toolpath and I go to linking parameters, let's set the retract to minus 0.1 or 0.01. Absolute. Actually, minus 0.05 will be fine. It will accomplish what I'm trying to show you. So my retract plane is set too low. I'll select OK. I'll need to regenerate this toolpath. And if I run it in backplot, select play. It's not extremely obvious to me that something is wrong, but I can see a problem. But it's something I could also easily miss. So let's say I don't catch it in backplot. And what I'm looking at is I'm looking at these rapid moves, these tool moves that run through the part because my clearance plane or my retract plane is set too low. So I'll exit backplot. I can go back to Verify, rewind it. I've got stop condition collision turned on. If I select play, I might have to exit Verify. Hold on. So exit Verify. Go back into Verify. Stop condition. I'll also turn on tool change. I'll select play. So it just drilled the pilots, but it's also telling me the simulation has been paused due to the following stop condition. Tool change. All right. I select play again. A simulation has been paused due to the following stop condition. Press play, step, or fast forward button to continue. It says a collision has occurred. And you can see the tool is dragging across the part, gouging the material. And if I hit play, it's just going to continue. And it's going to keep doing that. And there's a good chance you would have broke the tool or damaged the tool. The part would definitely be bad or scrapped. So that's what the collision detection is showing us. It's showing us that we have a problem. The tool is actually dragging through the material when it's relocating from one hole to the next. So to fix that, I'll exit Verify. I'll go back into the parameters of the drilling operation, the second drilling operation. And the culprit is right here. I'll change that to incremental 0.1. I'll select OK. Because I made a change, I'll have to regenerate this toolpath. So I'll select regenerate all dirty operations. I'll select the first operation toolpath group, and then I'll go back into Verify. Stop condition collision is turned on. I'll turn off tool change and then I'll select play. And this time it runs through verify, and you can see I don't have any collisions. I don't have any gouges in the top of the part. So I'm happy with what I see inside of verify. At this point, I can exit. I'll look at it from an isometric view. You can fit your screen. And I can also unzoom 80%. I'll need to create a stock model that reflects the finished part. Make sure that the insertion arrow is at the very end of the toolpath group. Go to toolpaths. In the stock section, select stock model. And for the name, could call it a drill through or finished part. I'm going to call it finished part in this case. For the initial stock shape, I'm going to use an existing stock model. So I'll expand this flyout menu or drop down menu. And I'm going to use the stock model that we created from the previous operation. I'll select pilot holes. From here, I'll go to source operations. And for the source operations, select the drill path that we just created. I'm sorry, toolpath, the drilling operation that we just created. And then I'll select OK. Now, it doesn't look like much because the stock model is overlaying the solid representation or the solid model of our part. If I go to the level manager and make the solid model invisible, all we're seeing on the screen now is the stock model and the 3D wireframe representation of the part. Once I verify that the stock model is correct, I'll make my solid model level visible. I'll go back to the toolpath manager and I'll make the stock model invisible. I'll toggle off the display of the stock model. From here, for the most part, this project is done. I'll go back to the project page and let's just check to see what's required, see what type of instructions we're given. All right. We left off at step 4. I'll use the drill toolpath to create the holes in the part. Step 5, create the NC file using the post selected operations icon. Now, I have to tell you guys, because most of you are, or I'm pretty sure all of you are using the home learning edition of the software, you will not be able to do this next step. You'd have to save your work to a memory stick, bring it to the school, open it up on one of the computers there, and then you can perform this next function. What I would like to do now is create the program that we would send out to the CNC mills to run this part. To do that, select the first operation toolpath group. I've got green checks next to everything. And then I would select G1. And if I hover over it, it says post selected operations. Once again, you guys can't do this because you're using the home learning edition of the software. But what you could do is you could take this file, transfer it to your memory stick, bring it to the school, open it up there, and then you can do this. So first operation toolpath group is selected. I'll select the G1 icon. It's going to, let's see here, post-processing. I'll just accept the defaults here. And actually, I'll check NCI files too. So NC file and NCI file are both checked. I'll select OK. It's saving it to the project folder. So MACT, also MACT fall, drill project 1. And the file name will be the same as the Mastercam file. I'll select save. Now it's trying to save or wants to save the NC file. I'll select save again. And it's going to open up Code Expert. This is our NC editor, or the NC editor that comes with Mastercam. Takes a moment to open up. So here's the program that tells the machine what to do. So this is the language that the machine understands. And basically what's happening is when I select this G1 icon, Mastercam converts all of these graphic representations of the toolpaths to a language that the machine will understand. And this is what you're seeing here. The machine understands what's going on with these lines of code. And if you take the 150 class, this will make a lot much. We actually write these programs by hand. We don't use the CAM software to create these programs. So basically what this is, it's a conversion to what they refer to as G&M code, and it's the language that the CNC machines understand. So once you create it, I can close out of it. It's saved in my working folder. And look at it from an isometric view, fit my screen, unzoom, and I'll save my work. Something else I would like to introduce to you guys is how to create a setup sheet. The setup sheet basically tells you which tools are being used, what type of tool paths are being used, and it can be very useful when you send a program out to the shop floor. You send the program out with a setup sheet, and it tells the setup guy how to, which tools are loaded into the machine, and tell them what other important things, where the origin is, what types of tool paths are being used. So to do that, inside of the toolpath manager, right click in a blank space, and from this flyout menu, select setup sheet. Brings up this dialog box. So for the project, I'll call this drill project 1. Customer, I've got San Diego City College. The programmer put your name, and I'll accept the default settings for everything else. I'll select OK. Mastercam will go through the process of creating the setup sheet. It takes a moment, and when it's done, it will open up on my screen. So it opens up in what's referred to as Active Reports Viewer. If you scroll through it, it gives us some good information. Shows us a picture of the part, shows us where the file is located at. Here's what our material is going to look like. You can see the origins at the lower left, top of part. It also shows us which tools are being used. It gives us some information about the tools. So this is a pretty short program, 2 tools, 2 separate tool paths. So it's a pretty short setup sheet. As we go through the semester, these will get a little bit lengthy. So once you create the setup sheet, you'll be required to save this file as a PDF. Go to File, Save As portable document format or PDF. It opens up this dialog box. Make sure you save it to the working folder. That way, everything for this particular project will be located at the same place. I'll call this Drill Project 1. I'll save it. And before I close out of it, I'm going to open up File Explorer. And I'm going to look inside of my working folder. So MACT 160 Fall. So I've got my Mastercam file. I've got the NC file. I've got the NCI file. And I've also got the PDF for the setup sheet. So those are the 4 files required for this project. And I've got them all saved in the working folder. So once you verify that everything's in the correct folder, you can close out of the Windows or File Explorer. You can close out of the Active Reports Viewer. Make sure you save your work one last time. And that's going to complete Drill Project 1.